Can I ask a question without being canceled? Can we actually discuss the idea of Starfield and how nobody's talking about it? If you look, it's never trending on social media. There's no viral posts about how good the game looks. The trailers themselves are not really getting that many views. It doesn't feel like Microsoft is really pushing this game at all. And to be honest, I'm very confused by this because this is the latest game by Bethesda. I am a massive Bethesda fan, just like the rest of the world. I love Fallout. I love Elder Scrolls. I mean, obviously I have stuff like the Complete Edition. I've done 7 playthroughs of Skyrim. The first videos I ever uploaded to this YouTube channel were Let's Plays of Skyrim 11 years ago. And it feels like there is just zero conversation anywhere online that I've witnessed about Starfield. But let's talk about that. What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and this is going to be a short and sweet discussion of the idea of Starfield and whether or not it's going to flop. Because as much as there is some negativity around this game, I'm sure that Microsoft is still going to consider it a success, even if it only sells like 100,000 copies. Before we get into that though, let's quickly thank the sponsor of this video, Factor. I think we can all agree that sometimes trying to eat healthy can just be so time consuming. You gotta bust out ingredients and cook it and then clean the kitchen, which is why I'm happy to be partnering with Factor. This is a meal kit service that sends you these delicious pre-done meals. You just pop it in the microwave and in 2 minutes you have something that's not just good, but is good for you. They have such a wide range of different options of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, bacon and cheddar bites, just different potato biscuits. I mean, I personally am obsessed with the beef tacos they have, and lately I have super been in love with their smoothies, which are extra good, especially on these hot summer days. And what's funny is that these things are so good, my roommates have become obsessed with them as well. So if you want to try these for yourself, try out my coupon code that they gave me. It's factor75.com. You're going to go to the checkout, and when you buy your first box, use Dreamcast50 for 50% off your first box. Once again, that's Dreamcast50. I'm going to have it in the description box and as a pinned comment. Seriously, these are so good, and they help you hit your fitness goals. Eat healthy, eat right, and stick with Factor. Now, the inspiration for this entire topic, this rant of sorts, is this tweet I saw from Legacy Killer HD about the fact that Skyrim is releasing in now technically less than 1 month. I'm recording this on the 3rd, and it actually is coming out on September 1st if you get the special ultimate expensive $100 edition. And it's kind of confusing to me because once I saw this tweet, I completely forgot that Starfield is about to come out. Like, it is insane to me because this is maybe the biggest Xbox game ever. Like, it feels like a lot is riding on this because it's been so long since there's been a good Xbox game. Like, we had Hi-Fi Rush, a good like AA title, but before that, literally, I'm racking my brain. What is the last Xbox game that got high review scores and wasn't just Forza? I'm legitimately trying to think. I legitimately can't think of anything, and that's not being a hater. I think about it, I'm a games journalist. I play games all day long. I mean, I'm constantly staying up till like 2 a.m. playing freaking Path of Exile and Diablo is now technically an Xbox game, right? Well, it will be soon once the Activision deal is done. But what's interesting is that a lot of the replies to this are just so negative. This one's positive. I'm quitting my job so I can dedicate my life to Starfield. So obviously a bit of a memer, but that's definitely some good positivity. The graphics, gameplay, and combat look awful, horrible, and terrible, and 30 frames a second. Obviously the 30 FPS conversation is still persisting. The fact that it's 30 FPS on consoles, and now we know it will only be 30 FPS forever, The developers have said there is no way to patch it, that it'll be 60 FPS on, PC. So I'm playing it on PC. I'm definitely playing it on PC Game Pass. And I am reviewing Starfield, just throwing that out there. But a lot of people saying, I'm excited and curious that it'll be good, great, or bad, but I'm definitely not hyped at all. I see this sentiment repeated constantly. I'm just not hyped. Now, some Xbox journalists seem to be annoyed about the lack of hype. Like this, I feel bad for the Bethesda devs. This is Corden. Honestly, in my opinion, the greatest Xbox games journalist. I'm not even sugarcoating it. Corden is the king. I think his writing is good. His reporting, he obviously loves Xbox, but there's nothing wrong with that. He reports from a place of heart. He cares about the stories he digs up. But he said this: if the game was multi-platform, everyone would be hyped and excited. Because it's an Xbox exclusive, the usual suspects are making up BS to this word right here. I had to look it up. It's basically, they're saying they're trying to create fear, uncertainty, and despair. Basically, they're trying to make sure that it's a negative story at all times. Now, what's interesting is that I'm not even seeing that. I'm not even seeing hate posts about Starfield. I don't see anybody talking about Starfield at all. And to me, that's the insanity of it. Even actually just look at the fact that, okay, so here's the official gameplay trailer. It came out 1 month ago. It has 2 million views. Here's the Spider-Man 2 trailer that came out 13 days ago and has 12 million views. The gameplay reveal has 14 million views. This is just crazy. The amount of hype for Spider-Man compared to Starfield. Now, obviously, that's not a very fair comparison. Starfield is a very tiny brand compared to the massiveness of Spider-Man, debatably the biggest Marvel character of all time. But it is weird that even recently, they released all these little Starfield shorts. They have them over here on the right side here. These are these little tiny, I'm going to click through it here. They're these little short 2-minute cutscene things that kind of set the mood for what Starfield is going to be like. But here's the weirdness. As great as this stuff is, even this has almost no views. Nobody is discussing it whatsoever. And I guess I'm also curious because is the game even finished? The game is coming out in less than 30 days. And we haven't gotten an announcement that it's gone gold. Not to make an unfair comparison here, but Final Fantasy 16, which obviously is made by Square Enix, a third-party studio, they went gold 3 months before release. And when it came out, obviously it was in tippy-top shape. It had no bugs. It ran great. They ended up doing a day one patch and a secondary patch to smooth out the very weird motion blur in Final Fantasy 16. But it is strange to me that the developers, the discussion, the entire topic of Starfield feels so heavy and silent. Now, some people are basically saying stuff like this. Here's a kind of a hater tweet. Starfield won't be playable or shown at Gamescom. Something ain't right about this game. They're hiding it like they did Redfall. We're 28 days from launch and we still can't see it. Well, what would they be hiding? Why won't they let the public play it if the game launches a week later? Get a bunch of, I played the first 20 minutes of Starfield and that's what we'll be getting. This is a bit weird to me. Gamescom is coming up here in Germany in a couple weeks, and it's basically like European E3. A lot of game companies are coming out to say, hey, here's what's next and great and big from us. And Xbox officially said there will not be any sort of demo at all for Starfield. And people are kind of discussing that because, to me, it's not about the fact that there isn't a floor demo, because let's face it, Bethesda games, in my opinion, don't demo well. It is about sitting down and playing it for 80 hours, 100 hours, making your own character, throwing cheese sandwiches at people. That's part of the Bethesda fun. So the idea of it not having a demo isn't too shocking, but it is weird just how secretive they're being. The only look we've had at Starfield is these couple little trailers. Like this gameplay trailer here. Here's 3 minutes of nice gameplay. I'm not even saying this as a hater. It's just weird to me that this is all the gameplay we have. one of my very best friends who actually works in the game industry, she makes like educational games and stuff. She is a big gamer. She and I play games almost every single day, literally. She did not know that this exists. She had not heard that Starfield existed, and she has like 400 hours in Skyrim. If Bethesda fans that actually game don't know about Starfield, what's happening? And I'm kind of curious because it does feel like usually the marketing cycle is always spinning up. Like obviously Final Fantasy 16 got literal buses. Every time there's tons of Spider-Man hype all over the place. It's bizarre to me that nobody is talking about this, positive or negative. Even stuff like this, I feel like there's not a ton of talk. If you're playing Starfield on day one, what game is coming out that makes you want to take a break from what's expected to be a massive, sprawling RPG? Obviously, Spider-Man 2 is way out in front. Take a break, LOL, is also a good secondary option. I guess it's just weird to me that I don't see that raw, general excitement. And I'm confused by it. Something I said on Twitter that some people were kind of upset about it. You know, the usual Xbox people were raging at me. Is I said, Microsoft should be pushing this. Across the board, Microsoft should be screaming from the rooftops about Starfield. If it's good, let's talk about it. Show it off. Do big teases, do celebrity engagements, do an early live stream with freaking big, huge sports people and stuff so you actually get those normies attention to it. If it's great, sell some Xboxes, boost your Game Pass subscription numbers, shout it from the freaking rooftops. Sony isn't afraid to do that. Nintendo's not afraid to do that. Third-party studios aren't afraid to do that. Rockstar Games isn't afraid to do that. Like everybody else. Ubisoft, freaking Quantic Dream, every other studio, when they have a good game, will tell you. They will show you. They will just straight up say, hey, here is the game of the year. But there's nothing from Xbox. Why? That's all I'm doing. I'm just asking questions. Don't get too mad down in the comment section. I'm sure someone's going to claim it's the best game ever. Look, I'm going to say this straight up. People sometimes clip my videos. Clip this. Are you ready? Here we go. I want Starfield to be good, but I'm afraid it's not. I am afraid that Starfield is going to launch incredibly buggy, incredibly raw, incredibly in need of another 2 or 3 months of patches and updates. But if Starfield is great, I will take the L. If Starfield is getting 9s and 10s, I'm going to be absolutely thrilled. I want this game to be good. I'm not praying for its downfall. I don't want Microsoft to fall apart. I definitely don't want Bethesda developers getting fired for their bad work. I am just saying, at this point, I have no confidence. But we'll see how good it turns out to be, because if it's great, I'm going to be first in line to absolutely suck those Microsoft toes. I just want good Xbox games, all right? If Starfield is great, I mean, I'm seriously going to do a gigantic 30-minute review talking about how fantastic it is, and I'm excited. I am praying that I'm wrong. If this game is great, hell yeah, and if it's bad, I'm going to do an unfortunate victory lap and probably wear like a crown and have a scepter, you know, normal, rational adult stuff. But what do you guys think about Starfield, Xbox, the current state of gaming? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below, and please, if you could, give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. I'm sure this is going to be a very sane and rational video. Very, very sane. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, you know, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.